The transition program is a program that was created to bring kids back from private day school, students who weren't doing well academically but had some gifted areas like music or art, and we wanted to bring the kids home and wrap our arms around them, welcome them back, and provide services to help our kids be successful in their public school setting.
We took extreme rock band and made it our own class. We teach piano, bass, guitar, do some singing, voice lessons, drums, and basically we try to teach cooperative playing, like when you grab a guitar and a bass and a piano, you play by ear. We teach by music too, but most of what we do here is by ear. So we just try to instill the joy of music.
My name is Martha Bigger, and I teach art here at the Transition Program. I'm a retired art teacher from Pulaski Middle School. One thing I think that's a real benefit of this program is that because our classes are small, if somebody brings up a subject that they're interested in, we can really research it and find out more about it, and maybe build on how that relates to not just art but language class or history class. I think that's most of the classes here are very integrated that way, and that's more real world.
Overall, as you look across time, they do a lot better in socialization and other areas that are more important to society as a whole and more important to their employability than just what they know, necessarily the content that they're being taught in school. A person's employability is simply how they are able to interact with another individual, a lot more so than what they know.
What we created it for was a step down from private day, or a step between the public school system and having to go to private day, because we found that our kids didn't have a place to go when they were struggling in school and all our children were being sent to private day. So this is a fluid movement of children, students who are in the regular public school who may need additional help academically or behaviorally. They come to this program, so it's alternative in that sense, as we put in different strategies and different behavioral systems in place to help kids be able to have more self-control, to be able to function in the public school.
Academics, of course, is our #1 priority, as it would be in any school environment that you go in. We really do focus on behavior modification here. Therefore, in situations that we have that come about in our daily program, within the transition program, we sometimes have to focus more on behavior and take care of those issues first and try to solve those problems first, and then we focus on the academics, because if you don't get the behavior modified, then it's very difficult to get the academics.
You can get into the home and work with families on a counseling level rather than just work educationally. So that's been a benefit, I know, to a lot of families as well as a lot of individual students in our program. I see successes mainly in kids' ability to interact appropriately with adults and other students, children that have had significant difficulty doing so in the past.
Well, I think last year going to graduation and seeing 4 of our kids walk across the stage was just amazing, and some of those children getting academic awards, absolutely amazing. These are kids who were at risk for dropping out of school.
As far as one individual success that we're particularly proud of from last year is a student who had been placed in alternative settings for inappropriate behavior in the beginning of his high school career, had many other behavioral episodes prior to that, but never anything as major and significant as what occurred his freshman year. On the 3 days leading up to graduation day, the senior class was doing their, I guess their trying to learn their protocol for walking into the arena to do their graduation. And here was this student that had been in our program all year and had really been removed from the high school for the last 3 years, was helping the students that were in front of him, one particular student that was significantly disabled. It was very sunny out. He was holding the child's umbrella, helping the paraeducator apply lotion, sun lotion, so the child wouldn't get sunburned because they were out there for a long time. And he did this without being asked. He actually, a lot of the adults that were involved had no idea who he was. A lot of the students knew who he was, but the adults really, the ones that were around were asking and followed up with us afterwards to commend him because they didn't really know who he was. They never asked him to do any of these things, but he stepped up because he saw a need in his community, which is something that was lacking in his own personal life up till about high school. Sort of that empathy for others. It really developed through our program for him.
We've got students now who are in our community working. They have internships at, I think one of them's at a pet clinic, one of them's at a rehab clinic, who will probably be offered positions. So we've got great successes. Kids who are realizing now that they have talents that they can do and they can achieve. And so seeing just the kids talking about self-advocating of what they need and what they can do has just been really rewarding.
My name's Maria, and I'm in the transitional program, and I work in the animal shelter, cleaning their cages. Mostly just play with them and just like, if they're, we just do a lot of stuff with the animals. We walk the dogs, we play with the puppies, we play with them too. We take pictures and put them on Facebook and tell them about the cats and why they're here, so they'll find honey homes.
Realizing that students' lives are not just inside these walls, but the baggage they bring to school sometimes is far more than we can even imagine. Most teachers, it's safe to say, come from middle-class homes or have the means that they don't have to worry about when they get home whether they're going to have food or have electricity or some of the things that we take for granted as teachers. To focus on homework, to focus on some of those other things for students in this kind of situation are very difficult. And a healthy understanding of that and being able to rationalize exactly what you're facing when you're working with a student every day is essential. And again, much more than the content itself. The content will come if you can meet their other basic needs, which a lot of times these kids are coming in without their basic needs met. In doing that, you see a different child a lot of times.